massive float of like all our characters. Why don't we hire out the largest barge in England and float it down the Thames with every single one of our characters on? So it's like one of those sort of big parades, but you just float it down the Thames.
No, no, no. What if the boat capsizes? All of those wonderful toys lost at sea.
What if we take over a British town or village and we dress the inhabitants up in our like characters?
Yeah, the problem is there's not enough towns in the UK for all of the great Hasbro brands.
All right, got it.
Oh, this should be good.
Save the big one for last. Let's break the world record for the largest unboxing on Zoom ever. Like ever in the history of the world.
All right, lads, just cut this.
No, there's not enough time to organize.
What do you mean not enough time?
Because Hasbro Pulse UK is launching today.
Today?
Hello FIGGIE fiends and collectors, this is me, Daniel Eastman 1000, back again with a bit of a ranty video for you. Just want to sit down here and get a bit of a conversation going possibly about the Hasbro Pulse UK website that just went up recently. From what I understand, it's a place where you can get all your Hasbro products from Transformers, Marvel, Ghostbusters, Power Rangers, and what obviously we're interested in, Star Wars, directly from Hasbro. Now you can upgrade to a premium membership, of which is available for £20 up until the 31st of the 3rd this year. After that it is going to go up to £40, of which is a hefty chunk of change. Even £20 is a hefty chunk of change initially, with nothing really in sight to gain for it unless you actually want to order anything straight away. Most of the items that are available on the site are available with other retailers. There's nothing on there currently that I can tell, for me, for my worth as a Star Wars collector, anything that's there to entice me to go for the premium membership. An exclusive of some form might have, but there's nothing currently on there that screams out to me to lay down 40 quid's worth of cash. And that leads me into, what are you actually paying for? What are you getting from paying 40 or 20 pounds currently for this service? Well, initially, free standard UK delivery. Okay. And then it literally just says other perks at selected fan conventions and more. That's a bit of a general statement really, and doesn't actually tell me what I'm going to get or benefit, aside from free shipping, from subscribing to this for a year. And given that there's probably going to be no conventions for a good while now, if we're going to be realistic, you're not going to really experience that with subscribing to it. Maybe if they're going to solely stock the exclusives, but it doesn't really state that on the website. Me personally though, what I'm most fearful about is them undercutting allocations for the other retailers that are out on the market. And if I'm going to be honest, the people that you should really be supporting anyway. Now, don't get me wrong, I love going into a brick and mortar store and picking up figures. Of course, at the moment that's not really viable. The way how things have been going, that's been changing quite rapidly. Collecting for UK collectors, I feel like, has been relatively online dominated for quite a while now, and it's with thanks through sites like Star Action Figures, In Demand Toys, Kapow Toys, the list could really go on, have really bolstered the collecting community and allowed us to get a lot of these exclusives. These sites have maybe not quite fought, but convinced Hasbro to let them stock half the stuff that we used to wouldn't be able to get, and especially at half the price, particularly if you went through the means of buying through a scalper. It's sites like those that really do have the collector in mind, and always have been, because they've believed that the products would sell. Unlike Hasbro, when you look at the site and they're not stocking half the stuff that their own company actually sells, bit of a head scratcher, to be honest. What I'm most fearful though is, because of that, I really do hope they don't undercut the allocations of other retailers, because that's something that could happen. I really don't like the idea of this subscription service of having a rat race, mad scramble to get exclusives. It reminds me almost of back in the day when Matty Collector in the US was a thing. For those of you who don't know what Matty Collector was, they did a lot of Master of the Universe, Ghostbusters stuff, and you would literally sit there in the morning waiting for a pre-order to go up, and you'd be put in a queue, and then if you had poor internet connection or if something went wrong with the site because of the high volume of people on it, you'd just get kicked off. I don't know if it's the same case with this Hasbro Pulse thing. It might be, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays as well, but it just reminds me of that really infuriating time for collectors, and it's just fairly comparable to that, to me at least. If this makes things a little less hassle-free for collectors in terms of convention exclusives, and that's fair enough, but I just really hope they don't stamp on the toes of the retailers that have supported the company and the products they've made for these different lines and licenses throughout all these years. Naturally, we can't really judge it at the moment just because it has literally only just sat up, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next year or so. By the looks of things, in terms of the US collectors who have had this for a couple of years, it's not really affected them, but only really US collectors can comment on that because I can't. For my money's worth though, I can't back this. But I'll be interested to hear from you guys. Have you signed up for the premium service or have you purchased from them yet? Let me know in the comments down below and your feelings on it. What do you predict? Anyways, I just thought I'd throw that out there, but let me know what you guys think. And this is me, Daniel East 1000, signing out. Thank you very much for watching.